Hi, if you're watching this, you're probably looking to rebrand. Personally, I've had a lot of experience with this. A lot of my friends come to me asking for advice about this, so I thought I would help a lot of people out by making this video. And I think it's something that we all need to think about because as people, we can all improve and we can all try and grow. And so that's exactly what we're gonna do. So when it comes to rebranding, there are 5 different components. Those components include work, relationships, school, appearance, and spirituality. So I'm going to be covering all of those. So the first component I'm going to talk about is work. A lot of the people watching this video are probably teenagers and they don't work right now. That can also mean a 9-to-5 if that's what you're looking for, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking to become more self-sufficient and also find things that can kind of help you on your college apps. So if you are looking into that, I would highly recommend what I do, which is day trading and high ticket sales. Both of those are skills that you need to learn, and it's not a job where you can't just expect to get rich overnight. That's not how it works. They are skills, you do need to learn them. And it does take quite some time, but I think it's a very good investment of your time. And once you do learn these skills, they can be highly beneficial to you and your employability. And the money you make is absolutely insane as a teenager working only a couple hours a week remotely. It really does change the way you look at money. I tend to characterize myself as a workaholic because a lot of the time that I was spending before I rebranded, I would just waste time away. I would engage in things that I probably wasn't supposed to be engaging. I was making the wrong choices. I was hanging out with the wrong groups of people. I was going out, doing things like that, which there's nothing wrong with doing those kinds of things, but when we are rebranding, we are looking for an improvement. And if you want those improvements to be seen, you have to put in the work. And that's really what work did for me. It gave me that drive. And when the money finally hits, when you get your first paycheck, when you make your first successful trade, the dopamine does hit and it is so addictive. And I think it's a really good addiction to have, that kind of work ethic. And a lot of people lack that, and that's something that I do really recommend. It can really transform your life. It can teach you so many valuable skills. It can change your productivity. It can really transform your life, and that's exactly what it did for me. If you're struggling to find a space in work that works for you, I highly recommend looking into it, looking into different ways that people are doing it. For me, my personal interest has always been business, and so as I was trying to rebrand, I looked into that. I looked into opportunities in business, what people are doing as teenagers in business, and what I can do and what my goals are. And that's how I got into day trading and into high ticket sales. I'm also looking to become an entrepreneur, so I really do think that work gives you the foundation to make successful goals, and it can also show you what the value of a dollar is. I feel like right now we take a lot of things for granted and we don't really see how much things cost, especially in today's economy, which things right now are the most expensive they've ever been, and it's just going to go up from here. So it is really important to learn that. And also, when you are making your own money, that kind of does give you a sense of independence. And I think there's literally only benefits that you can gain from working, and I highly recommend that you look into it if you are looking to rebrand. And it can also provide as a great distraction for all the feelings you may be coping with. I don't know what your particular reason for rebranding is. I know a lot of the times it may be some kind of situation that has happened or some kind of significant change in your life, whether that's a situation or an individual. And if you are looking to replace that, I think work is a great outlet to do that, and you can become successful in doing it. And don't think that things are limited to adults. You can start now. The earlier you start, the better. I highly recommend, if you're not going to work, learn about the basics of investing. The investments you make today will pay off when you're older, and you will be happy that you did that. So moving on to the next component, I'm going to be talking about relationships. I think that there can be beneficial relationships and there can be relationships that are going to drag you down. I think the really big thing you need to know is, are you ready for a relationship, and is the other person or the other party ready for a relationship? The reason why a lot of high school relationships don't work is because of immaturity and lack of commitment. Relationships require a lot of commitment, and if you are not ready to commit to that, then don't get yourself into a relationship, or don't expect something serious from a relationship, or make it clear with the other person that you are not looking for something serious, because it can be a very toxic thing for you and the other person. But I do think an important thing when it comes to relationships is that cut off people that aren't serving anything to you and aren't giving back the same energy that you are giving to them. A lot of the times you realize that you are putting so much effort into a person, you're putting so much effort into all these people, and you are getting absolutely nothing in return. And that is not healthy. That is not how relationships work. It is a two-way street, and you need to leave. That's not even just romantic relationships. I'm giving advice on general relationships. That can be with friends or anyone. Practice healthy relationships. Another very important thing, and something that I highly suggest, is know who you're getting into a relationship with. There's a lot of negative things that can happen that can affect your performance and hinder your rebrand if you are in a relationship that is mentally, physically dragging you down, and literally everyone can see it. You will not be able to rebrand if you are in a toxic relationship, because it will affect every single aspect of your life. All of these other aspects I'm talking about, work, school, appearance, spirituality, it will be present in all of those components that you are struggling because of a toxic relationship, and your rebrand goes to nothing. I'm speaking from personal experience that I think a negative relationship or a toxic relationship can really drag a person down, and they don't see it, and everyone else around them sees it, and it's so obvious to everyone else that you are that person, and that will hold you back from all of your goals for a long time. And I think that's where I've caught myself that I was lacking behind. Another important thing is protecting your peace in a relationship. Do not constantly allow people to step over into your peace. That is not how a healthy relationship works. In your life, you come first, not another person. And in a relationship, you should be working together to help one another, not the other way around. You are not working against each other, you are working together. And if your relationship, you are constantly on an uphill battle with the other person, it is not going to work. It's just going to hurt both of you. It's going to affect your rebrand. It's just going to be a terrible situation. And your peace is why you are on earth. Your peace is a promised right, and you deserve to be able to have that. And any hindrance to that, it should not be tolerated. I mean, that's up to you, but I think in a rebrand, that is very important. And anything or anyone that is disturbing your peace, especially a relationship that is supposed to be beneficial to both of you, if that is not a peaceful thing, then I really do think you should consider that, oh, maybe something needs to be changed, or maybe this person does not need to be in my life anymore. Another thing when it comes to relationships is that the person you are with is a reflection of your self-worth. If you are with a person that is partying every day, smoking, drinking, all those things, being rude to people, is constantly doing all of these negative things, that is a reflection of who you think you are, because you are allowing that person to display themselves as your partner. That shows to other people what you think you're worth. And so it's really important that the person you're with is very genuine about who they are and are representing themselves very, very well and carrying their personality very well. It is important that you are also aware of the person that they are, because in today's society, people love to lie. Especially in relationships, lying has become super normalized. Lying about things that are not morally okay to lie about. I've experienced that. And I think it's very important that you know that the person you are getting into a relationship with is a reflection of you, and you need to check that out and register that, so you know that, okay, I'm fine with this person being a representation of me. Because if not, then do not do that. It's only gonna hurt you, and that's the thing. People perceive that. Say you saw Kim Kardashian on the street with a homeless man. That's gonna lower your vision of her. A lot of the times we notice that people tend to become like the people that they are around. And so people's perceptions of you are going to change based off of who you're dating. And you really do need to think, is that for a good reason or for a bad? Because a lot of the times other people see what we don't when we're in love. And that can become very blinding. And so listen to your friends, listen to people that know, that are looking at your best interest, and think about that. That's something to definitely consider. The next component that we're going to talk about is school. So I think a lot of the time we put school on the back burner. We think school is an important part of the rebrand, but it really genuinely is. I think a lot of the times we don't realize how much our school can affect our future. I think right now it's kind of really like you just neglect it, and it's kind of like very repetitive and very stupid, and we kind of just overlook it in general. But a lot of the times the effort we put in now will reflect what we get in the future. So if your goal is to have a bright future, you want to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to be all these things, you want to go to a good college, put in the work. It is not as difficult as you think. You need to learn a couple of valuable skills. So among those skills, I think the most important are time management, work ethic, and also having a plan. So as far as time management goes, make reminders, set reminders on your phone, use a planner if that works for you. You do have time to do everything. I think a lot of the times we don't realize how much time we have and how much time we waste and how much time we can make. And a result of that is that we don't have good time management skills, and we can't do everything, but we can do a lot more than we think we can. I'm a student. I have straight A's. I'm in AP classes, and I also do 2 jobs on the side. I'm in extracurriculars. I do all those things. I still have a very active social life, and I still have plenty of free time. Could I be doing more? Yes, I definitely could. But I think I'm an example of how you can have good time management skills and still make time for everything. Another thing when it comes to school is having a plan. Having a plan put in place will make your life so much easier. You're going to have to put in less effort. Things are going to come to you easily because you know what you're going to do. It's going to reduce your stress times 1,000,000 because you have a plan. So if your goal, say, is I want to get into an Ivy, look at what other people are doing. Look at what people who have gotten into Ivies are doing. Look at what your friends who are aspiring to go to Ivies are doing. Look at what Ivies are looking for. Look at all that stuff and make a strategic plan on what you are going to do for the next few years of your life until you graduate. Make a strategic plan. Whatever goal it is, it does not have to be anything college related, any kind of academic or school goal you have, make a plan. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what it's going to take for me to do it, and these are the steps it's going to take to get there. And that will make your life so much easier, and it will save you the stress, and when you make it, you can thank me. Another important thing is work ethic. You are not going to get anywhere with slacking. Slacking is your biggest downfall because you have the potential. The potential is not the problem. The problem is you are lacking work ethic. You are lacking the dedication it takes to get there. You are lacking putting in the hours. Not a thing in life is easy, and there are people out there who are begging for it badly, who want it worse than you. Don't let them want it worse than you. Don't let someone else want something for you more than you want it for yourself. I think what has changed the most in me now and me before is that my parents would tell me, Krisha, I want you to go to your dream school. I want you to follow all your dreams. I want you to get your dream job. I want you to have this. I want you to have that. All these things that I have always wanted. My parents wanted that for me. I didn't want to put in the work to want it for myself because I was so distracted. But I think what's changed now is that I have this from within, that this is what I want to do. I want to work. I want to do well in school. I want to go to the gym. I want to do all these things. That is the difference. That is putting in work ethic. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there because that is what I want. I want to have a successful future. I want to be making this much money. You have to put in the work. Nothing comes for free, and there are people in third world countries that are begging for the opportunities you have. And I think it's so important for us to realize that and realize we cannot keep slacking off because we will be replaced. Think of things like AI, and those things are coming into place, and they don't slack off. AI doesn't slack off. It's not a human. Don't let AI replace you because of your work ethic. Don't let AI replace you because you're lazy. Let whatever you want, chase it. That's my biggest advice. Another really important thing that I forgot to mention is mindset. This isn't one of the components, but I feel like a mindset is very important in order for all the components to be there. If you're looking to rebrand your life, the main way you can start is by changing your mindset. I think the first thing is forgiveness. Obviously, if you're looking to rebrand, like I said, some situation that has probably happened or an interaction with an individual has probably made you realize that you want a change in your life. You do not want to be the way that you are right now. And I think the most important part of that is, if you are hurt from a situation or someone, forgive. I think we overlook that a lot. We see our own struggle and our own hurt, and that completely blinds the fact that we are not forgiving the other person for them. We are forgiving the other person for ourselves because we deserve that peace. I think forgiveness is the first step to developing the proper mindset in order to move on with your life and to grow. If you are holding on to things from the past, you will never be able to grow. I think this is the biggest mistake I was making, is that I was holding on to so much anger that I had and so much resentment, and that just caused me to become a very dull, quiet, inexpressive person for a very long period of time. And it was because I was holding on to so much long-term anger. You have to forgive, no matter what has happened, no matter what a person has done to you, no matter what the situation was. Forgiving is the first step in order to developing the healthy mindset and the healthy lifestyle it takes to achieve all these work, relationships, school, appearance, spirituality, all these things. You need to have the proper mindset and you need to forgive. Another thing when it comes to a mentality is that you need to realize that things are happening for you and not to you. Everything that is happening in this world is not kind of to hinder you, to harm you. If you always are being negative about things because you're like, oh, this and this happened today, you're never going to be happy because you're dwelling on all of these small little setbacks. Setbacks are going to happen. It's life. It's not perfect. It's not cookie cutter. Your life is not the same as the person standing next to you. And that's just how life is. But you cannot dwell on the setbacks. Instead, you need to get up and move forward on where you're going to go. You need to take whatever's happening to you as a sign of redirection and a sign of growth, and learn from there, and then move on and forward and past that. And I think that's the main way that you can genuinely learn how to develop the right mentality. Another thing with mentality is that you need to have a certain level of self-confidence and self-worth. If you're always lacking self-confidence, no matter what your goals are, you're always going to be struggling to complete them because you're not confident in yourself. And if you're always struggling with your self-worth, you're never going to find yourself worthy of the things that are happening to you, and you're never going to be able to accept them. So I think it's very important to work on your self-confidence and your self-worth. I think the best way that you can become more self-confident is getting out of your comfort zone, because when you realize that all these things that I'm afraid of, I can do, and it's not as bad as I think it is, you will realize that I am good at this, I am this, and that will build up your confidence. I think achieving things and going out and accomplishing your dreams is the biggest thing you can do to build up your self-confidence. And it isn't just like it happens overnight. It does take time, and I think you need to be respectful of that and respect that time. Another thing when it comes to self-confidence is fake it till you make it. People don't realize that you're faking it because everyone is. No one is 100% self-confident no matter what they look like. Everyone has an insecurity, whether you see it or not. So fake it till you make it, and fake it until everyone else thinks it's real. They will not notice. People will not think you're stupid. Even if you're not confident in yourself, carry yourself that way, because that's how people perceive you. Another thing that a lot of people look for when they're rebranding is a change in appearance. I think for me, this kind of just happens with all the other changes, and it kind of happens with mostly with the spiritual and the mindset part. It kind of just naturally happens. But if you want to enhance it, I think something very important that a lot of people overlook is self-care. It is important to take care of yourself. It is important to do things that you enjoy. And so whatever that may be, a lot of people throw around the term being high maintenance, but I think that's not really a negative thing. I think being high maintenance can be beneficial in a lot of different ways, and you can do it through a lot of different things. For me, it's just like following a skincare routine, or getting my eyebrows done, or always having my nails done. A lot of those things make you feel a lot more put together, and that can therefore enhance your appearance. And also the amount of time you put into yourself does show, and people do see that, and people do notice that. Another thing is the gym. I think I highly recommend going to the gym, but I would say do it for the right reasons. I think if you're looking for results overnight, that's not going to happen. But if you genuinely want to be healthy, and you have this goal that this is the physique I want and that's what I want, put in the hours at the gym and see the changes that it has on you mentally and on your face. People will notice that, oh, she's been going to the gym, she's been taking care of herself, because going to the gym is a form of self-care in itself, and I think that's very important. And if you are going to go to the gym, be consistent with the diet. That's my biggest recommendation, is that don't just work out and then go off of a kind of random diet. If you are going to work out, commit to it. Commit to a proper diet with your workouts so that you are getting the best results possible. And if you are going to go to the gym, please do your research on that, and please look into that, because your results will be different based off what you are eating. Another thing you can do to kind of change your appearance and rebrand is kind of doing things that are personalized for you. I think we live in a society right now that is so covered by things that are seen in social media that we kind of just follow trends and do things blindly, and we have been losing so much individuality. And so look at things that suit your features. Don't feel the need to conform with things. Do things that suit you. So that may be with hair, with makeup, all those kinds of things. Do things that suit you, and you will notice a difference in your appearance for sure. Just experiment, try out new things like that. This component you can skip if you're not a very spiritual person. I'm just going to be talking in general, nothing specific to any religion. But if you are a spiritual person and you do believe in God, I really do recommend, whatever religion you are, put your faith into God and put your faith into God's plan. I think that was a really big part in my rebrand. I think a lot of the times you kind of have like a tunnel vision. And so when something negative happens to you, like something that might make you want a rebrand, something negative probably happened to you to make you want that, and that thing was probably very blinding, and it made it very difficult for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's where seeing that God has a bigger picture than you do comes into play, because it really makes you realize that he has a plan for you, and you probably don't see it right now, but everything that's happening is a part of a bigger picture, and you need to have faith in that. Another thing that really changed my faith was gratitude. I think I was lacking so much gratitude for the things that I was getting, and I've really tried to change that. Now if I make a successful trade or whenever I get my paycheck, I try to donate at least 10% to my religious practice. I highly recommend doing the same because I think it does show all the things that I'm gaining. All the glory does go to God, truly, and I am just a vessel. And I think that really changed my perspective about things, and it made me have so much gratitude for everything that I received and for this opportunity to just change my life around. And I really do believe in that. So yeah, I hope this video kind of helped you see in the ways that you can rebrand yourself. There are definitely more things that you can do than the things that I brought up in this video, and there are like other smaller things that are for sure important as well. I kind of hope that I touched on the basics of what that looks like and what a rebrand looks like, and that it's not just about looks. It kind of is like a whole makeover of your life, and I hope that you can apply some of these things. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you guys want to see more. Bye.